Welcome traders to Ride the Wave Wednesdays. All right, I'm gonna look to start doing these every Wednesdays and get an upload for you guys every week. And I'm likely gonna wait until after the daily close. So depending where you are in the world, it might be late night, could be afternoon, could be midday. But I want to get an idea so we can see midweek how the market's shaping up and how we can look to catch the next wave. All right. So I'm here on looking at the dollar index. All right. Also, if you are new here, be sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. If you take advantage of these, you could definitely capitalize just off of the projections. All right. So I'm looking at the dollar index, and we're at this level of demand, right? Last time price was here, we had a strong bounce. All right. But it didn't range over there like that. Around here, price has been ranging at this level over a week. It's been struggling to bounce up from here significantly. But I mean, at the same time, it's still a good sign that price haven't, broke this level. All right. So it's just ranging right now, really setting up for that next wave. All right, looking at here on the 4 hour, price found some support earlier in the week, bounced up, but now you see prices pulling back down, possibly setting up for a corrective wave to give us that move to the upside. I am looking for price to hold this level. Even if price pulls a little deeper, further down in this demand zone, I still will be looking for the dollar to give us a wave, a bigger wave to the upside. All right. So we're going to see how we can line that up to find our edge in the market, looking at some of the majors that's lined up with that too. All right. So let's look at GU. And also, it was CPI. CPI came out. What was that, this morning, right? I believe. Let me see. CPI came out. Yeah, CPI came out this morning during New York. So, the inflation data, it came out 4.9% opposed to the previous 5%. So that actually brought some bearish volume into the market on the dollar. All right. But looking at some of these majors, we're at critical levels in the market. All right. So if we look at this on GU, all right, we go to the higher time frame. Like when you're looking to catch the bigger wave, the bigger waves in the market, you always want to trade based off the higher time frame. All right. So if you look at this here on the daily, last time price was at this level, we had a big wave, right, set up for a big move to the downside, big bearish waves you could have caught there. All right. So it's the same idea when we're looking at where price is currently at. All right. It failed. You see it's failing to break above this level. Wicking, nice close. All right. Daily had a little wick away from this level, still closing below this level. So I'm really looking for this level to see how we're going to react. Right. We pulled up here. Price just printed a rejection right here. Now, this looks like this could be railroads. This looks like bearish railroad pattern right here to me. If that's the case, this definitely could be setting up for a bearish wave. All right. Now, if we get that dollar to hold, that's just going to give us even added confluence to catch this move. So really what I would look to do, could take your counter trend line right here. All right. And looking at that, looking at that, we can see this. I want to see a breakdown. If we can get price, especially if this is a bearish railroad, it looks like it when the candlesticks looks pretty much identical. And we got the bearish candle close on this side. So if we can get this breakdown here, I will be looking to catch the corrective wave to set up for another bearish wave down. All right. Because if this is the top, we could definitely see a nice big move really all the way back down towards here. Right. My first level will probably be around 1.25, possibly lower down towards these levels. All right. So that's what I'm looking for in GU. I'm really just going to be patient. Let price show his hand, because tomorrow we actually do got more high impact news. We got PPI for the dollar, unemployment claims, and tomorrow's also we got the rate. The Bank of England deciding on the rate for GBP. They're forecasted to raise those rates again. So, it's going to be a lot of volume that comes in the market to end this week. So we're going to see. It's best to be patient, allow price to show his hand and then just follow that wave. All right. Trade in line with structure. Looking at gold. Let's take a look. All right. So looking at gold here. I look at this on the daily real quick. Now, if I zoom out, you can see prices at a major level of supply, and this is actually the all-time high for gold that it made. So it's hanging around this level. Last time price was here, made that high, we had a big fall, big bearish waves to the downside, came back up, big fall again. So I like for price to potentially hold again. Now, it all depends on what the dollar does, of course. It's going to be a direct correlation. But we see initially price, grab liquidity, spike past this high, but then we close right back below. And then right after that, we got this bearish engulfing here on the daily, which is a good sign that the sellers are coming back in, looking to take some control. Price, I was looking for price to pull up here for this retest. So we're getting that now to possibly set up for another bearish wave down. All right. So if I'm doing a top-down analysis, let's look at the 4-hour so we can see price pulled into this level. If I take my fib, from that swing high to the swing low, price rejected about the 78.6. All right. Technically, this was basically like a double top. After that, now price is retesting in this level, and it's starting to show a sign of rejection. This is a slight bearish engulfing. All right. So this could be the move here. So what I would like to see here on gold, really, I would like to see price break below here. Right. If we can break below here, something like this, break below here, right? And maybe look to catch the pullback and continue to ride that wave down. All right. But I am anticipating this wave, this retest of structure to set up for the move to the downside. All right, GJ. GJ was a nice, beautiful setup that I caught. If we look at this, if I look at this on a higher time frame, we look at this at the daily. All right. The daily, like when you're trading within a week and you're looking for the bigger waves within the week, the daily is key. The daily is very key to where the next moves are likely to go. So if I look at this on a weekly first, you can see where price is currently at. It's a strong level of structure. You could look even way over here. This was support here in the past. It was support, turn resistance. Price broke below that, retested right here as resistance, and that's set up for a big fall. All right, so that's where we're currently at, right? Strong level, previous support, turn resistance, and now price is respecting it again. It respected it here when it came, and now we right back here again, and it's respecting it another time. So now, if I look at how price is setting up, I caught this drop initially. Like I took some profit on it, but I do believe this is setting up to drop even further, because you see initially here on the daily, we got this bearish engulfing, sign that the sellers came in and price continued to drop, right? But where price found support at, you could look to the left, it just found support at this previous level of structure, so resistance. Found support there and bounced back up. But when it bounced back up, it was just retesting this high, and then we fell down, right? Right here, you see on the daily, this daily close bearish engulfing. That's a good sign that the sellers are not done yet. When you see engulfing candles on the daily, that just gives it even more value and more weight, all right? A lot of times, if you see an engulfing candle on the daily, it's best to wait for some type of pullback to happen first on the smaller time frame. But I am looking for this to potentially set up to continue down further. So if I go down to the smaller time frame, you can see price right here. It was just retesting this structure, you see, retesting structure. What price did is it actually printed a double top. This will be considered a double top right here. Initial rejection, right? The multi-session M or double top, and broke down. So we actually broke structure right here, right? This will be considered the neckline. This here will be considered the neckline of that double top. All right. So I would like to see, I took profit on this move, like down here, I took profit. I was looking to come to 169, but now with this the top of impulsive wave that it gave us, I'm looking for another move down, right? At least back down, probably back down towards this low. All right. So in this type of scenario, I would like to see a retest. So if this price can pull up and give us a retest in here, I will look to catch the next bearish wave on that retest. Take it back down, at least at the bare minimum to 169, but this could come all the way back down towards 168.5, 168.3, right, in this area. All right, now if price comes down there and actually breaks, right, because we look to the left on a daily. Right, if price comes down and break below this structure, I definitely expect price to continue down even further. All right, to the next zone. All right, so that's GJ. Bias is still bearish. You can actually see it's actually still dropping. So it might not pull back to the ideal area of structure. You'll just have to see how price is going to play it, because technically it gave a pullback. It gave a retest here. We look on a smaller time frame. Excuse me, price broke down and then it pulled back, retested here, and then just continued. All right, so technically it could possibly still just fall from here, but I would like to see one more retest within this zone and look to take it down further. Similar play with Euro JPY. You know, they tend to correlate and move together. And you can see I actually gave this signal out in the VIP Discord. All right, if we look at this on the 4-hour, you see I actually sent this out. TP1 was hit for 111 pips at 147.3. TP2 given was 147. So it actually came about 5 pips shy of that. All right, so that was a nice, from the entry given, you know, that was about 140 something pips. All right, and this was just a simple textbook play. We could look at price. Price was breaking down. So if I just get a higher time frame understanding of why I was looking to take this sell. So if I look at this on the weekly, all right, let me look at the monthly first. All right, price was coming around this level of supply here. All right. Nice level of supply. You can see last time price was here, big move down. All right, so now we came back to that level. All right, looking on the weekly, same thing. You see that zone. So that's a strong zone right there. Strong range of price. Now, I saw this here, and price had a nice impulsive wave to the downside. Nice move down. 3 days of, basically 3 days of straight drop. All right, so when I go down, we go down to like the 4-hour time frame. You could take the counter trend line here, and you can see price actually broke that as well. With that drop, with this drop, price broke down. It actually broke below our trend line. And right here, this was like a kill zone. This was a textbook setup. Boom. We got the retest of the trend line here. Also, right, if I get rid of this real quick so we can clearly see. We got the retest of the trend line. Also a retest of this supply order, right, where price fell down from here. And with that, on top of that, price printed this bearish engulfing. So really, if you were here and you saw that bearish engulfing, you could have had even a better entry than the one I gave. If you would have saw that earlier, you could have entered right here with that bearish engulfing, stop loss above structure. You could say about 80 pips right there, wiggle room, and boom. You know, from there, price dropped 146, 147 pips. All right, still might not be done yet. Okay, so it gives you opportunities. Now, I gave the sell here, right? It was still a good setup, but it's a textbook play. And you just follow the waves. You just trade in line with structure, follow the waves. You got your corrective bearish flag right here setting up, right? So with that, price broke down. Could have been catching entries here, stop loss above, right? Broke down, but it gave another opportunity here on this pullback. This pullback gave another opportunity. Could have entered here and stop loss above. like something like this. Boom. Stop loss there. It's about 35 pips. From there, price dropped 130 pips. That's a 1 to 3, almost 1 to 4 risk to reward. So these are the type of setups you look to catch. You just ride the wave, trade in line with structure. So that's EJ. We could possibly see this fall even more. If this is going to fall more, we would need to see price break below here. Price comes down and break below here, then we could possibly see it go further down. But keep in mind, looking to the left, we got a lot of even, demand structure within here too. So you got to keep that in mind. Pay attention to what structure is doing. But this is how you identify your potential targets, based off of this area of structure. Boom. So we'll pull down, and I would just around here would be my next target. Now, GBP NZD, this was the play of the month for me. I gave this signal out, on Discord. I could show you. If you look here, we do got the VIP Discord, for those that want signals, hands-on mentorship, access to me basically 24/5. I'm available a lot. But you can see here, I give the actual signals with the target. This is where EJ was given. All right. TP1 hit for 111 pips, as we can see. And also, if we look at GN, if we look when I first gave GN out, it was before the big dump. This was the sell signal right here. All of the TPs was hit. This was the markup. When I said I was looking for the breakdown, I gave the sell signal, only an 83 pip stop loss. This was like basically a 1 to 3 risk to reward based off the TP4. TP1 hit, TP2 hit, right? TP3, right, was hit for 202 pips. And then the following week, it just, to start the next trading week, it kept dropping. Then TP4 was hit, 252 pips, and it's still dropping. It dropped more than 252 pips from the entry given. How do you think I'm able to identify these type of swing moves? It's all based around the higher time frames, understanding how the price moves in waves, understanding structure, and just keeping it simple, right? So if we look at this on a weekly, you could see price. You can see price came into this level of supply. Last time I was here, this is where it fell from. Oh, sorry about that. Last time I was here, that's where price fell from. So it came to the same level and fell again. And then when I saw this print, this bearish engulfing on the weekly, that was just more indication that it's definitely likely this is going to swing even further. And that's exactly what it's doing. Price don't lie. Showing that the sellers are still in control. So initially, the first sell that I gave out was around here. So when I saw, let me clean some of this up so we can see. So when I saw price give that initial breakdown, I could take this even tighter counter trend line right here. Boom. All right. So this was the move down. Price gave an impulsive wave, strong wave down. Whenever you see an impulse like this, the market is made up of impulses, corrections, and impulses. This was an impulsive leg, and this was the corrective move, setting up for the next bearish wave that we see happening now. All right. We were able to catch this now. Okay. I can even take my fib. Boom. Price rejected the 61.8 beautifully and just continued to drop. In this type of scenario, my negative 27 would have been a target as well. You see, we hit that. So these is how you catch these nice swing moves. And when I was able to identify that, I was also looking at the daily, and I was seeing that on the daily, right? Basically this right here, on the daily, price had a nice daily close below. So on a pullback, chances are price was going to stay below this daily candle. All right. And it did just that. Understanding that wave. So I gave the signal out, and then we were able to catch it. So, but this is how you catch it on the next opportunities, understanding price. So you can see right here, price printed a bearish engulfing. on that retest of structure, bearish engulfing. You know, this was an entry right here. Or you could have waited for a slight pullback, but this was an entry. Could have just stop loss above the bearish engulfing or just above structure right here. At the bare minimum, oh man, accidentally doing that. At the bare minimum, you will expect price to at least come back down to that low. That's 180 pips right there. But you see it fell even further from that. Over 300 pips, 340 pips or so. Right? So, boom, we got that breakdown. Now, price made a lower low, breaking that low. On that, it pulled up. On this pullback, you could look for the next wave, right? On this pullback, it continued, forming another lower low. A lot of times you're going to see price come back beautifully and just retest previous structure low. That's exactly what it did here. That's exactly what it did here. Price created a low, retest, continued, setting up for the continuation. All right, so in this type of scenario, it's still bearish. So I would say look for pullbacks, opportunities to continue to take that wave down. And how I was like, what gave me the confidence to continue to swing this is the daily chart. Because for one, you see now we also breaking this, my outer trend line here. But for one, once price pulled up and that drop with the signal I gave, when price printed this type of candlestick on the daily, this bearish engulfing candlestick, I was confident that it was going to continue to drop even further. So we had an impulse, corrective move on the daily, impulsive close on the daily, corrective move on the daily. This next daily candle did the same thing, strong impulsive close, bearish engulfing. So seeing that, oh yeah, it's like we're going to continue further. Possibly pull back a little further, but it didn't pull back that much. Slight pullback and continue down further. Now this daily candle just closed, bearish engulfing. Chances are it's going to continue to ride that wave, right? Possibly retest within here, like within that area. All right, you could look on a smaller time frame and look for your potential entries, right? Your price come back and retest previous structure low or somewhere within here. You could look for a potential continued wave to the downside and just ride the wave. All right. Looking at those of you that like crypto, looking at Bitcoin real quick, you can see right now we're in a big accumulation phase. You know, I'm still waiting for that next real bullish bull market. But where price is at now, price is retesting previous structure support. And we can see here on the weekly, on the rejection of that, price printed this bearish engulfing right here. You know, if you're going to invest in crypto, it's good to at least understand how to read a chart. And I'm expecting this to give us a pull down. All right. I'm expecting a down wave on here. All right. So really in this type of scenario, or if I'm looking at this on a daily, because right now where price is at, it is ranging a bit. This looked like a potential head and shoulders right here, with this being the head, right shoulder, left shoulder. So in this scenario, if we break this minor support or neckline area, right, potentially get something like that, but then we break that, it's likely we're going to see price pull down further on Bitcoin. All right, and let me look at some of these indices. US 30. All right, you can see US 30 here. Look at this on a weekly, right? So we got a rejection. We had a level where price had a big rejection from, big drop, right? A lot of bearish pressure within this level, rejecting, fell in the break above. We look at, this was also a previous level of support, turn resistance. So now here on a weekly, we got a rejection. We rejected here on a weekly. All right, so we're possibly setting up for the bigger drop. Now, keep in mind that the indices and the dollar, they trade inverse of each other. So if we see the dollar start to pump from that level of demand, chances are we're going to be seeing US 30, and the other indices take a dip. So here we are. Price has been rejecting. So really a sign that we're going to go even further. If price comes down and breaks that structure, right, you can expect price to continue down even further. all right? Based off the weekly, based off the daily, we go even further. And this will be the level of structure I expect price to come to, all right? Now, to know if we're going to go further, we need to break that structure, form another lower low, and then possibly come even further down, all right? But just, trade in line with structure and ride the wave. Also, the indices tend to correlate with Australian dollar as well, all right? Trade in the same direction. So, same thing here with the US 500 or the S&P. We can see here on the weekly, we at a level of where price had strong bearish rejection in the past, all right? But it also was a strong, firm level of support in the past or demand. These are your best areas of structure where it was once a strong level of demand, turn resistance or supply, all right? So we got some a bit rejection here. Price is struggling here, is ranging. So same thing, ideally, I would like to look for the sell. I would like to see price break below structure. You break here, catch the corrective wave, or maybe a retest to set up for the next bearish wave down. If we break down and break this level of structure, that's a good sign that we're about to set up to go even further to the downside. All right. So you want to just keep it real simple. Like the technicals of trading is real simple. Like really just trading line with structure, ride the wave. The biggest thing in this game really is just psychology, staying disciplined, waiting for your setup and just keeping it simple. So moving forward, I will be looking for pullbacks on like GJ, potential retest, and continuation down. GU, I'm going to be sitting on my hands on some of these dollar pairs, seeing, how price is going to develop based off of, the news and everything in the morning. And we'll just look to catch the next wave based off what price shows us. All right. If you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe. I hope y'all got value from that. And I'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.